have nicknamed a glacier the Doomsday Glacier. That's what the researchers themselves decided to call this thing after they saw the potential damage that it could do to the planet. And this is just a few weeks ago. Scientists published a new finding that the summer of 2026 will be the beginning of the accelerated deterioration of this massive Doomsday Glacier. We've always known that ice melts from the top and it melts downwards. The sun warms it, the air warms it, and then there's visible shrinkage. That's the story that we've been watching for 30 years. But the Thwadis Glacier isn't melting from the top. It's melting from the bottom going upwards. And they just discovered that the warm ocean water is creeping underneath these massive ice shelves. Like hot water slipping under a frozen lake. Because of this super duper El Nino, it's going to accelerate that melting process. So why does this all matter? Well, surface melt is measurable and it happens slowly. The surface can look fine right up until the whole damn structure starts to break apart. The Thwadis Glacier is roughly the size of the state of Florida. Now imagine, that's massive. It is already responsible for 4% of all sea level rises on the planet. If it collapses, think of it like pulling a cork out of a wine bottle. The glaciers that are behind that are held in place and that have been held in place for thousands and thousands of years, it starts to pour out into the ocean. So basically then sea levels start rising up to 10 feet globally. Now, okay, so what does 10 feet even mean, right? In plain terms, think of it. Miami, Mumbai, Shanghai, New Orleans, Bangkok, Amsterdam, they don't just flood slowly. They like become uninhabitable. And then they'll be gone. But here's the part that nobody's connecting. The Southern Ocean surrounding Antarctica actually absorbs nearly all of the CO2 emissions put into the atmosphere. It's literally been acting like a sponge for our carbon emissions for like centuries. But here's the thing. The melting ice, which is not salt water, but fresh water, is making that salty ocean fresher. And right now, that fresh layer is actually trapping carbon deeper under the water, which essentially, it's actually buying us a little bit of time. But as winds strengthen, that layer is going to start breaking apart. And when it does, the sponge that's been absorbing all that water is going to get wrung out. And the ocean stops absorbing carbon. And it literally starts releasing massive amounts of carbon. The very thing protecting us from the greenhouse effect becomes the thing accelerating that problem. 800 million people living in coastal zones within reach of that water with the potential for like massive global change. Let me know what your thoughts are.